Live the adventures of Karla and Neomir. Stories filled with excitement, colors, flavors, sounds, and dynamic perspectives from Asia to America. East and West Podcast with Karla and Neomir.
Hello, hello. I'm
Hi,
Karla.
I'm Neomir.
And we are Nioka, a mother and daughter duo who live on the opposite sides of the world.
Yes, and we're going to talk about traveling, gastronomy, technology, ecology, music all around the world.
So join us on our first introduction podcast as a mother and daughter duo who live between the East and the West. Yay!
You're listening to the East and West Podcast with Karla and Neomir.
That's right, we live on the opposite sides of the world. I am live in Shanghai, China, and as you can tell, it is nighttime, and my mom is live from
Dallas, Texas, and we're still night, but it's not night. It's about it's not sunrise yet.
what time do you have over there? We have a 14-hour time difference.
Yes, right now it's 6:40 here, but 6:40 in the morning.
Oh, for me it is 8:40 p.m. Your day is getting started, mine is ending.
Yay!
So right now, as you know, I live in Shanghai, China. I've been living here roughly 6 months. I work and live here full time. I am an English kindergarten teacher, and yeah, it's been great so far. How about you, my other duo?
well, well, I am on a transition. I'm waiting for a visa to be able to relocate. It's still on the west, but on a different side, closer to the east.
Hmm. And where would you possibly be relocating?
I don't know, somewhere in the west, but crossing the ocean.
she's not gonna tell you. She's not gonna tell you. But anyways,
I need good vibe. I need good vibe, and I don't want my vibe to dilute it. So.
Well, anyways, she is definitely going to be staying in the West, and I'll be in the East in the meantime. We have this podcast to basically introduce two perspectives. I am currently 25 years old. I'm still navigating life, seeing what I want, what I don't want. So far, it has gotten clear since I've been living here, and a lot of change and opportunities, and as well, besides like age, it's geography, you know, a different culture in the East. Lots of differences in food and languages. So we're gonna discuss the difference between the East while she's still in the West, but not gonna be completely in the US, but somewhere else.
Yes, but I have to tell you that I was born in Caracas, Venezuela, and then I moved to United States actually about Carla's age. Exactly the same, and I've been living in Texas for most of my life. I'm very grateful for the experience that I have here, but I'm ready to move somewhere else. I guess the gypsy in me wants to explore somewhere else. I've been traveling. We travel a lot together. We travel separately, but I think for the next chapter of my life, I would like to, if my visa get approved,
It
to be in a different lifestyle.
Environment, lifestyle that supports the needs and wants you want in the next chapter.
Huh?
That supports your needs and wants for the next chapter, basically.
Yes. You know, living in US is it's an experience. And I think when you're younger, the experience is really appropriate. If you want to raise kids, if you want to do a life, it's very fast. You consume a lot of time. driving, and where I want to move a place that I don't have to drive.
Let me tell you, I do not miss driving. I have not touched a car in 6 months.
I don't think I'm gonna miss it either. I visited Korea about a month ago, and I was so happy to use the public transportation.
Yes, we'll dive more into that as the podcast progresses. But in the meantime, we are broadcasting worldwide via the Conexión Plataforma in Latin America.
East and West Podcast. Brought to you by Neoca Adventures. Lo dicen Las Vegas. En
Sol Vegas, beauty expert, coach, and communicator at heart. A woman who enhances your beauty on the outside and empowers you from within.
And we're back. We're live.
We're back.
So we have a concept in this podcast where we'll do cultural tea. If you don't know, tea is very important in the Eastern culture, but also in the reality of culture of chisme, as Latins would like to say.
We love the chisme.
I love me a good chisme and tea, and in Chinese you say cha. So we're gonna be asking basically questions of what we're experiencing both in culture, whether it be East and West, comparing the two. So let's see. Who wants to start with the first question?
I will ask you.
Okay.
Why Asia, Karla? Why? Tell me why?
Oh, wow. Well, I think I'm in a very Asian time of my life. If you were to tell me maybe in 2023 when I graduated from the University of Texas Austin, I'd be living in China, I would not believe you, but here I am. But Asia has gotten a lot of social media influence, a lot of eyes in the past couple of years. Specifically, let's start with South Korea. South Korea has done a lot of soft power recently with K-dramas, K-beauty. It is growing a lot. It's a big phenomenon right now in the West. And I think it's still growing. It's now touching the US, but it's already has touched like Mexico, Chile, South America. And yeah, didn't know what I was going to do with my life. I moved to another Western country and I realized it wasn't for me. I did like the work-life balance when I was living in Spain, but I felt like as a young person, there wasn't much career opportunities. And anyways, a job popped up in my inbox to go teach in China. A lot of people ask me, why are you a teacher? It is not my dream to teach, but I do think it's one of the best ways to move abroad, just because I feel like I don't need a master's for exactly what I want to do. And I feel like you already learn a lot when you move abroad somewhere else. And why would I want to pay for school? So why not pay to teach children? At least they'll appreciate you, So yeah, I took the opportunity. And at that time as well, when the job offer came, I saw that eyes were on China. A lot of social media influencers, like streamers, were coming to China, showing the reality of the innovation that was happening in Shenzhen, which is like the Silicon Valley. And my mom, when I mentioned it to her a couple months later, I got the offer. She was very supportive, and if anything, it's been one of the best decisions I've made. It's been good. I am not saying it has been an easy journey. I have grown and learned a lot. But China's she's a good mother. She's a tough one, but she's a good one.
Well, they have a saying that they're tiger moms.
Oh, for sure. China, she's a tiger mom, and she welcomed me good. If you guys don't know, I was just in Vietnam for Chinese New Year. I tried some hot pot. My mom doesn't know about this. I'm just going to tell her right now. There was chicken feet in my hot pots.
Oh, great! A lot of collagen!
That's what I kept telling myself when I was eating that hot pot last night. So let me tell you, I was keeping that chicken feet on the opposite side of where I wanted to dip my meats. I was trying to get a more local experience in this region of China. But that is why I chose China. And as you continue to listen to our podcast, you will learn more about China, the opportunities, as well of me learning the Chinese language and the culture and beauty aspects of it. But now let's continue. Throw back the ball to my mom. Where are you going in the West, or why are you staying in the West? What is it that you're looking for? What are your goals for this next chapter of your life? Because I'm an adult. I'm in China, trying to build my own life in a way. So tell us a little bit more about you. I feel like you're living your best life right now.
Well, in a way, because we have a lot of turmoil here in U.S. at the moment, and even though this is not a podcast to talk about politics, everybody is being affected by the situation that we have here in U.S. But my decision of moving was way before this situation that we're living. I have always said that when I grow older, I wanna move out of U.S. No, because it was nothing particular wrong. It's just that I feel that the life that I want for the next chapter will be better somewhere else. I feel that I have mastered the language in US. I have buy a house, sell a house. I have raised kids, and they are grown, and they're decent human beings. So I
Wow. I'm a reflection of your work. A little bit more credit.
So that's and it's also, I think, there are other places that you can live differently. So I still healthy, I still in my productive life. So eventually, I don't know, I'm moving to Europe for now, but I don't know if that's gonna be my final destination, because I visit Karla in China, and I really like China. And then I went to Korea, and I really enjoy Korea. I think Korea will be kind of a tiger mom too. So
Asia is fire,
that's
mom.
that's why I'm not sure that I will end it out in Korea. But let's see what the future unfolds, because I'm waiting for my visa status to be approved, and then I will probably be filming from somewhere else.
And as you're moving to Europe, what made you make that decision to Europe? What is it specifically now that you're like looking for?
Well, first is the life is more calm. I won't have to drive 2 hours or one and a half hour in traffic to go places, because I think that deteriorate your life being in a car for so long every day. That's my personal opinion. And it did. I gained a lot of weight. I did have to have a surgery to help me, as use it as an instrument to lose the weight, and that was part of a transition, getting healthier and becoming a better person, I guess. So I start by doing that, taking control of my way. Then I'm planning and doing this with a lawyer. So I'm doing all the steps the right way to be able to enjoy life over there. Do you have affordable healthcare when you have your insurance when you move in there? And that is very important, because the time of my life that I'm gonna intro now probably will require some type of healthcare, and I think that is the best choice. Also, there is more calm life. We did the Camino de Santiago a few years ago, and I really, really love the greenery, the scenery, the majesty of the churches and all that. So there's a lot of history, and I really would like to tap into that more and go more deeper. I did that. I did something like that, the Camino in Korea, when I went to do a course that I will tell you more about it later. But I visited the temples, and I did a lot of tourism, but learning the history of Korea, and it really, really fascinated me. But I just use 4 words there.
Hey, I got you by. That's all that matters, you know?
And it did get me by. As long as you bow and you say
Yes.
Samira.
Hand the money like this, you know, they understand. They
Yeah.
get it, you know, it's fine.
They were very, very it was very special time. We will probably talk more about it in another podcast.
For sure, for sure. But
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yes. So what do you have empowered you since you are in China? What do you think it make you stronger or a better person? I don't know.
I have to face a lot of challenges. I think I don't have a boring life here. That's for sure. Every day is a new challenge. I feel like my life in the West was very easy in a sense. I mean, even if I wasn't like in the US, I would be in a Spanish speaking country and I speak Spanish. I moved to a Spanish speaking country. It wasn't difficult. If anything, I had a great time. I had time off all the time. What is their difficulty? Oh, I have friends in other countries. Like, there was no, it's very similar culture. I mean, at the end of the day, like, you know, you can communicate very well. Everyone uses the same apps. If not, you'll have friends who communicate English. Yeah, people look like you. So yeah, my life I would say was decently easy. I struggled more, I think, more emotionally, I think. And it caused me to navigate my emotions very well. I think if I moved to China earlier and I didn't make the move to Spain first, it would have been a lot worse in China. Like, from the things that I have experienced in China. Not that I would want to get into the depths of it, because again, like, you know, whatever. I definitely would have been like, give me back to the United States of America. But since I've already now learned how to handle like certain emotions, the situations that I have faced in China has helped me a lot. Navigating the emotions despite having a language barrier, despite a different like legal system. You know, I had to change visas. I had to move apartments. I had to sign a different contract. I had to do all these things. If I did that 2 years ago, that wouldn't exist. That genuinely would not exist. But the fact that I have come here, and I wouldn't say I put up a fight, but I have put like, okay, this is the reality. This is it. Like, you can't just run away from your problems and cry yourself to sleep. That's just not how it's gonna work. Or you're gonna cry on the metro and then you're gonna be like, well, I'm gonna show up in the office anyways and I'm gonna translate. I'm like, look, this is what's happening. Also, I've been very fortunate that the friends that I have met here, they have been so helpful, and you know, being vulnerable and being like, I don't know what's going on, and being honest and knowing who to trust, who not to trust. I don't know, there's just so many challenges that I have faced within trust, but most importantly, trusting myself throughout this process, because since I've been here, I never questioned, like, I guess, like, my doubt being here, but more of the fact that it's like, why am I here? Now, like, you know what, it's good that I'm here because I've learned a lot about myself. I have a lot of strengths, and every day has become easier living here. Now, since I've been here for 6 months and my life has kind of stabilized, I'm more open to now learn more of like the culture and the languages, because when I first got here, it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work and a lot of difficulties. So yeah, it's, growing through those like challenges and not giving up and actually resolving them is kind of relieving. Not gonna lie, it's very relieving. It's like, wow, I navigated this all by myself in a country and culture that I can't even relate to. I don't look like nobody. So the amount of security that you have to have within yourself is crazy. Like, you're just like, well, it's just me, myself, and I. And yeah, I think that's what has empowered me and like made me a better and stronger person as well. And just like, it helps you flow through life easier as well when you just like trust yourself and not rely on other circumstances. It's like, well, it happened, whatever, I'm gonna have to solve this issue. If they don't want to help me, fine. Like, I'll go and use a different solution. And also ChatGPT and DeepSeek are great help. So with AI, but yeah. So I guess my last question for this cultural tea segment is: do you have any fears about leaving the U.S.? You've lived there for so long, you've mastered it. I know you're gonna be moving to another Western country, but I think also another Western country has difficulties as well.
Yes, there are. Just the visa process is being a little challenging because of the different to visit the East, where everything was handling faster. Yes.
Yeah, let's just say there's a lot of cultural differences that she has not faced in a while.
No, because everything in US is very fast, or that's the idea that we have.
The idea, for sure.
The idea that we have. So this process is just many roadblocks that you have to jump off. But I think while I get back to the country that I want to go, I think it will be easier. It's one where is my language. I have a plan. I'm going with a non-lucrative visa, so I won't be working. I'm going to be studying to prepare me for what is next. That is, I don't know for sure this is going to continue there or I'm going to move somewhere else. Will all depends on how this country treat me, I guess. Because after visiting Shanghai, China, and Seoul, Korea, they have it was very interesting. I think because when I was in Shanghai, I was with your friends, and it was culture shock, but it wasn't that much because you were there. But then I spent 3 weeks by myself in Korea, and I did have to navigate. And I'm very grateful the time that we're living right now, because ChatGPT is awesome. The apps are awesome.
Yeah.
If you go, and it's so much information that if you do your research, you can navigate pretty much anywhere in the world. Just to be kind, to understand that you're the one that is there, and you are the one that don't know, and be respectful. And then you will find people to help you, because let me tell you, Koreans helped me a lot. Yeah, and they were very kind. Chinese, I love the technology in China. I really do. But then after the third day in Korea, I was like, I'm gonna master this too. So with the right apps, you were concerned about me getting lost.
I mean, I was, because she was like freaking out. I was like, just open Naver. You got Uber. Like, it's fine, like. China is very distinct. Like, you have your own apps, but it's the same thing in Korea. You just open the app. But she met some friends and stuff as well later on, which I told her also not to worry about that you.
Well, and that was even better because of the course that I was taking. I met such a wonderful people, wonderful girls from all over the world and different, completely different in every aspect than me. They were younger. But since I do have a good relationship with younger people, like my daughter. I was able to develop also a good relationship with them. Um, so it was amazing. I have to say, the Korea treat me really well.
Yeah, so like with both of us, representing like the East, the West, and we both actually have experienced the West and the East. I hope what you gather through this podcast as well is that it's never too late to make a change in your life, whether it be you're a teenager, an adult, retirement. It's never too late to make a change.
You're listening to the East and West podcast with Karla and Neomir.
All right, now we're back. And so another segment that we have on our podcast is the story of the week. Whether this be, I don't know, a new travel adventure, maybe a new skincare product that we have encountered, and like, who knows? I think the story of the week that I want to talk about is Chinese New Year. Kwaila. So obviously I'm in China. I also got Chinese New Year at first hand. As you can tell, I got red all over me. I was not playing with the good luck this year. Horse, the fire. It's the year of the fire horse, and you best believe I am going to be riding very fast with it as a Sagittarius. So, but yeah, it was Chinese New Year. We both actually celebrated, which is exciting. I had a good couple of days off from work. We don't get those often, so I took advantage. And I went to Vietnam, and in Vietnam they celebrate Tet, which is also Chinese New Year, but they have their own version of it. And in the West, to make it more commercialized, it's called Lunar New Year. But that actually is not the correct term. It is Chinese New Year. But anyways, tell us, Mom, how did you celebrate your Chinese New Year? Because she fell in love with China and she ended up celebrating. So
I know, and I did. I wore my Adidas. That I brought from
we went to 5 Adidas stores, mind you, in Shanghai.
Yeah, no commercial there. We are not commercial.
Adidas, if you want to sponsor, please. We're big fans. Big fans.
No, I went to Chinatown in Richardson with my friends.
Nice.
And I gave them the red envelope, even though they were not kids. But I gave them the red envelope with a symbolic money, because I got money from different places. So I gave them.
Cute.
They looked at me like, we cannot spend this money. It's like, well, no, you just
It's
keep
hope
it as
for
a
them to
souvenir.
travel to the country, like manifestation. Take it as that.
Yeah. So and I have Chinese dumplings. I didn't use the knife that day. I didn't wash my hair or cut my hair that day, because the tradition says that you will be washing away your fortune or cutting away your fortune. So I did not do that. But my friends and I got really fun times in Chinatown in Richardson.
Oh, that's cute. Celebrating from the U.S.
Yes, because I think that's one of the things that I love about China is their tradition, their ancient tradition, and they're still going on, even though with the technology, even though with the changes, they still keep themselves relevant, and they've been able to adjust their technology to what's going on in the past. So, like, I don't know if you watched it. I'm sure you did. The robot exhibition.
Yes,
For-
in Beijing.
That was unbelievable, amazing. And they choose something as traditional as martial arts, as dance, their agents. So I have to give it to the Chinese. They're doing their really soft power and half power or whatever power they have. They're using
Oh
it.
man, yeah, they are. They for sure are. They're getting up there. I mean, they just opened what is it, visa free for Canada and the UK. So, I mean, they're building relationships. That's for sure.
They're
Um,
building bridges.
yes, here I am too.
Yes, yes, yes. So I think that that is important. That is important that we have to remember that
Mhm.
they be flexible because the world is changing and we have to keep up with that. Uh,
Yeah, for sure. Hmm.
yeah, at any age.
Hmm. But Chinese New Year here is of course a big deal. It's the one time of year that most jobs actually are off completely, and people
Yeah.
go back home to their families. I don't know if you guys keep up with Chinese news or travel news. I'm a nerd for that. And there was like a record of 1.4 billion people traveling just within China, which is absolutely insane. I was one of those 1.4 billion. uh, but I didn't get to travel my last big Chinese holiday, so I traveled in this one. Because also for Chinese New Year, most of the big cities, I mean, besides Beijing, it is the capital city of China, most of the big cities are silent. So Shanghai was actually pretty empty because everyone either goes home or they go wherever they feel like. And yeah, so I decided to go to Vietnam. It was a very fun experience. In Vietnam, they also celebrate Chinese New Year, Tet, and they do a big like firework exhibition, the dragon, the dancing dragon. It was very pretty. We were in a beach town called Hoi An. And my friend and I, we just had a very chill day. We had brunch. We did some pottery. I dressed in red. Not each side could dress in red,
Yes,
but
that's
again,
correct.
I did research as a dragon. I could dress up in red and gold to balance it out, and gold was to bring prosperity. So I had full red, gold accessories and everything. And yeah, I think we was Italian that night or something, if I remember correctly. Um, but yeah, it was lovely and everyone. But honestly, I was very Chineseified. Let me tell you, like, I mean, I feel Chinese because I was in this tourist town in Vietnam, right? But it was a little weird though because there was more tourists than Asians, and I was like, where are the Asian people? Like, I'm in Asia. But anyways, and no one was wearing their red. No one was. I was like, bro, it's Chinese New Year. Don't you guys know you have to wear red? You have to like feel the energy. I don't know. I took it very seriously. And then I was like, look, I'm Shanghainese. I'm from China. Like, China has claims, so whatever. But yeah, that's that's how we celebrated Chinese New Year.
I did give my friends whatever colors they were needed to dress for
Mm.
their signs. So, and some of them weren't agree with that. I'm like, well, but you cannot wear red because your sign is not good with the color for
Yeah,
this
yeah.
year. And for myself, I did wear the red, but just like a touch of red. I didn't want all that because the energy is so intense. And for my sign, my Chinese sign also will be very intense. So I did balance with the red and the green, because it was more favor. Uh,
Mm.
so, but I did wear my green and I did wear my red.
Oh yeah, and I didn't wash my hair either. Nope, I was with my dirty hair. Like, that's what they said. So I just follow. What can we do?
Yes.
But we can say that Asia has definitely changed our lives. That's for sure.
Yes. And well, I always have that inclination for that part of the world. I always liked it. For you, I think was a surprise.
They
Especially
zoom
that I
into my
told you.
face.
I told you, yes, you got to go. You got to go.
But it's been good. It's been good. We'll see how long I stay on this side, but so far I don't have plans to leave too soon. I'd like to stay in Asia for a bit.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad.
Yeah, she's protecting me.
Yeah, I will be visiting you often after I move
Yeah.
closer to that side.
Yeah, and
But
our
uh-huh.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like in our podcast, of course, you're gonna get to know more about us and our story, and we're working on some pretty cool projects. But I feel like we're still kind of in the beginning stages because you're still relocating, and then I've now kind of balanced my life here after 6 months. So, but also just make sure to follow us and stay tuned for what's to come because it's very exciting.
Yeah, because I am on that transition, and believe me, I have been on that transition over a year, and I am really ready to get over with that to get to the next destination, so that we can work more on our projects closer.
Yes! So that is it for our story time on how Asia changed our lives.
East and West Podcast. Brought to you by Neoca Adventures. Lo dicen Las Vegas. En
Sol Vegas, beauty expert, coach, and communicator at heart. A woman who enhances your beauty on the outside and empowers you from within.
Well,
Okay.
also, now we have the next segment, and we're gonna talk about our relationship. Uh, so how are we two so close?
I guess a little bit more background information. I mean, I grew up in a single parent family household, and my mom has always been there for me, and she's always pushed me to be the best version of myself, but not in the harsh way because she always had a listening ear and also respected if I also did not agree with certain things. And I tell my friends this actually quite a bit because I feel like sometimes I can't relate to some things because some people dream of corporate jobs or like, I don't know, they have to get married or like, by a certain age. But I felt like you always gave me the freedom of choice, even though you would suggest things, and I'm like, no. Must be realistic. But I always felt like she always gave me the freedom of choice. I mean, she did have her expectations of me, but then I also had the expectations of myself on what I should achieve. And I think the past couple of years I've done a lot of exploration, being able to travel, move, and then her taking me back in and then living out here and then figuring out my life. And now we're like, okay, I've come to like, yeah, she's right in a lot of things, I should listen. But yeah, I think that's why we're so close, just because, I think not a lot of people have that relationship with their parents. Even though their parents pushed them, which she did, she also was always very respectful in my decisions. She respected my decisions. I think that's why we're close, I think. And yeah, we're each other's best friends.
Yeah, I think that you touch a point that is very important, because even though as a parents, we have to keep the respect for our kids and for any relationship. The most important thing is to be respectful. That way we can handle conflicts better. And also, I have learned not to speak when I'm on the top of my emotions. I try to work with my words and just give me a break. And I tell you, I cannot talk to you right now.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. Like I mean, I don't think any relationship or thing is perfect, but I think having the respect and also being communicative about it, even though, to be honest, guys, I don't know, I'm into astrology and all that stuff, but we also have very different personalities. Very different personalities. We are the opposite in everything, like literally everything. I am type B. I don't care. I'm like, whatever. I mean, I get the things done, just not on her time. I get them done. And she is very Virgo, like, and I'm just more a little bit in the air. But I think actually, like, throughout the past years, we've learned to navigate that a lot better, for sure. Like, because we've also both been in a journey of getting to know ourselves better. And I think once you accept yourself better and get to know yourself better, you also learn how to communicate that better to the person. Whether that is through friendship, through a business partner, through your parents even, it's like, I don't know, it just flows better, I think. That's what I think. And we've always just been really close, and even better close, even if we're like distances apart. I mean, she came to Shanghai and I was going through it, but I made the most of it, and I didn't have much time off and everything. But I just pulled myself together and it worked. And she was like, "Well, I'm just here. I just show up." And I was like, "That's all I need. I don't need like nothing else."
Let's go to Adidas.
I mean, if she wants to go to Adidas, we'll go to Adidas 5 times. I don't know, like, as long as I do my TikTok by the buildings, like. So, I think that's why. I don't know if you would say something different, but that's my answer.
No, I think I will recommend everybody to go to counseling and to journal and work on themselves, because we don't have the truth, the completely truth. We're project they got work every day, so we just have to keep working. And as a parents, we have to learn to. That's why we're here. So it's time for us to
say our goodbyes. Remember, we are a mother and daughter duo who live in both the East and the West, who are also working on their own little projects of beauty, skincare, cultural immersion, languages, different lifestyles, getting the perspective of a young 25-year-old navigating her life in Shanghai, and as well as her mother, a beautiful woman who is also reinventing her life. And we have a lot of exciting projects. So make sure to follow us on all the social media platforms, whether that be Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Substack. We're going to get that up live and running as well. So make sure to drop a follow, and it'll be at Neoka Adventures.
Well, bye!
Zai-chen, thanks for listening.
Gamsamida!
Shishini.
Gamsamida!
Live the adventures of Karla and Neomir. Stories filled with excitement, colors, flavors, sounds, and dynamic perspectives from Asia to America. See you in the next episode of East and West Podcast.